Thank you for joining me. My name is Stonebeard, and welcome to my third episode of my SMP series. I'm on my public SMP server, and today we'll be showing you the competition-winning slime build that I did for the spooky build competition here on the server. Then we'll be going through the time-lapse, at least the first section of it, of the furnace build. I'll see you when we get over to the build area and to show you the slime. Here we are at the one chunk competition area for the SMP public server build I'm at. And this is my award-winning spooky build. I went through quite a few different types of builds and concepts, from a skull on a spike to just a skull. And I finally settled on a skull dissolving in a gelatinous cube. I do like D&D, and I love gelatinous cubes and the way they run. However, the first build I did didn't turn out quite well. Again, trial and error, I had to rebuild it to make it look the way I wanted it to. So I used the whole area that they gave me and built this. It's made out of lime green glass, solid green glass, some red, and some nether wart blocks, some white terracotta, black wool, and black stained glass. It's completely solid from top to bottom. When I was designing it, I designed in some dirt and debris that the slime might have picked up, bouncing around. Then I put in the skull, which is made out of bone block. Inside the green area, to make it look like bubbles, I added in randomly placed light green blocks, along with some nether wart to look like dissolving flesh, and some flesh around the eyes, to make them more look dead and as if the skull was just finishing up. As you can see, as I go all the way around, I had to consider the viewing of my build from all sides. Since on this public SMP server, you can buy a rank that includes flying. So I had to make sure that it was viewable from the top, the sides, and from all angles from the build area all the way up. I added in some green wool and light green wool just to give it a little bit more interest at the bottom. And the skull design itself took me a little while to make. I actually had to look up through Google a skull design on one of those sites that gives you a layer by layer tutorial. I'm not a very good artist when it comes to the organics. However, the tutorial was nice and I was able to add my own little flair to it. The slime idea came from the fact that I'm playing Minecraft, and we all have ran into the slimes here and there running around the world. So I figured it picked up the skull and just moved on about its merry way. It netted me the first place prize in the spooky competition. Kind of wanted to share it with you all. Well, I'm going to return back to the tower, and we'll get started on that time lapse, or at least the first section of the time lapse for the furnace. See you when we get there. Welcome back to the tower. I'm going to do a bit of a voiceover on the time-lapse for the furnace build, explaining exactly my design process and how I came up with the shape and the exterior design to it. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you on the other side. In this section, you will see me going through and measuring it out using a standard block ruler, putting blocks every other one, and a second block on the 10 mark. Just getting a good size with the footprint of the furnace. At this point, I decide to turn and extend the building out a little bit, knowing that I'm going to have to put storage in there. I come up that hill, noticing that I'm going to have to cut down some trees to make a full area. But I'm not going to level out the terrain, as I like to keep the terrain and make it a little bit more interesting as you walk through the town. As you can see, I put down a stone brick in every single corner, showing me where the outline is. That way, when I take down all the sand, I still have a good feel for the footprint of the building I'm doing. I do this for all my builds. As you can see, I go through multiple different measurements, confirming from one side to another, to confirm where the wall will be separating the mechanics from the storage, so I can make sure I have enough room to beautify the interior of the furnace. From here, I will measure out the exact length of the room, and then start, once I finalized the exact length I want, and I'm happy with it, I put down the line of stone to confirm that I do want it to run the length of the storage room, the length of that long part. Break down all the sand, and start to dig out the flooring, so I could put down just regular stone brick as the floor of the interior of this build. As I finish up the floor, I notice that there's some couple of dark spots, so I use some standard torching, as it will not be permanent in the build, or at least in the storage area. In the mechanical area, since you don't really see it that often, really don't care about how ugly the torching looks like, or the lighting looks like. So I just put it down just enough to prevent some spawns. The last thing I need is a creeper popping up in the middle of my redstone and blowing it to bits. So now that we have a good foundation and footprint for the furnace, I'm going to start building up the walls, so when I start to decorate the outside to match the Art Deco feel of the tower, I have a good idea of what I'm working with. Now that I have the first section done, I decided to make a step in and make a second part, a second floor, because the height of the first section was getting a little too tall and I wanted some diversity in the building. So I'll make a second floor, or at least a step in and go up a little bit more, so that there'll be some differentiation, some interest in the building. Now that I have the second part of the building done, I'm going to add in a nice flat roof to cap it all off. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that time lapse. As you can see, we got done with the exterior of the furnace build, at least the basis of it. Next time, we're going to decorate it and possibly take a look at the gardens around the tower. If you liked the video, leave a like. And if you really like the video, consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss when they're uploaded. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. Anyways, have a good day, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.